So we'll start on our backs. You'll bring the soles of your feet together, your knees out wide for Supta Baddha Konasana. And you can bring one hand on your belly. And then just start to get really grounded and present here in your physical space, finding your breath, feeling your belly rise and fall. Letting go of whatever it took to get here on your mat today. And you're gonna inhale, your belly fill up for a count of 4 and hold it. And then exhale, empty out for a count of 4. And do that one more time. Inhale, count of 4. Hold it and pause. And exhale, count of 4. And feeling the weight of the ground beneath you, feeling your body relaxing, any tension from your face, from your jaw, from your forehead, letting your knees fall open. And then place your hands on your knees. Bring your knees into your chest and make some circles. So moving your knees in one direction and the other, moving as slowly as you'd like, keeping your lower back, your sacrum pressed into the mat. Starting to open up your hips, your inner thighs. And then hug your knees into your chest. Grab the outer parts of your feet for happy baby. Keeping your sacrum flush. You can rock side to side. Maybe bend one knee, straighten a leg. Whatever feels good for your body, listening to your intuition. And then let go of your feet. Grab your knees and start to rock front to back along your spine till you come all the way up and around for a tabletop position. So your hands are going to be underneath your shoulders, your knees are going to be underneath your hips. And on an inhale, you're going to dip your belly down, reach your chin up, your chest up, and exhale, press the floor away. Pull the pit of your belly in and up, round your spine. And inhale, dip your belly down, and your shoulders away from each other. And exhale, release, round your spine. Really pressing the ground away from you. Doing that one more time at your own pace, your own breath. And then coming back to a neutral spine, you're gonna bump your hips to the right and look over your left shoulder. And then come back to center and bump your hips to the left and look over your right shoulder. Getting a side body stretch, waking up your spine. And one more time, bump your hips right and look over your left shoulder. And come back to center. One more time, go over that right shoulder, bump your hips left. And then coming back to tabletop, we're going to start building some heat and some movement. If it's hard on your knees to stay here for long, you can wrap your mat over or place a blanket underneath your knees. But we're gonna bring our right arm straight out in front of you, spread your fingertips, really get long and active and energy through those fingertips, and then kick your left foot out behind you, press into your feet, and hold this, keeping your leg active, hugging into your core, your center line, and then bring your knee to your elbow and hold it around your spine, and exhale, release, flex your foot one more time. Inhale, bring your elbow to your knee and release. And then bring your right hand down, your left knee down. We'll do the other side. So bring your left fingertips out in front of you, your right foot out behind you, staying active from the fingertips all the way down to your heel. And hold it, and then draw your elbow to your knee, around your spine, hug in. And then exhale, release, stretch it out. One more time, hug your knee to your elbow. Draw it all together, and then exhale, release, and bring your knees down to your mat, your hands down to your mat, and I'll give you two options here. You can either take puppy pose or downward facing dog. So if you want to take puppy pose, you'll walk your hands out in front of you and drop your chest. If you want to take downward facing dog, you'll curl your toes under, lift your hips up and back, and let your forehead fall nice and easy. And your first down dog, maybe you bend one knee, straighten the other. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Starting to wake up your physical body. And fill your belly up, inhale. Exhale, empty. And walk your feet to your hands for a ragdoll forward fold. You can interlace your opposite elbows, bending your knees as much as you need to here. Maybe shake your head yes, or sway side to side. Letting all the tension, all the stress just falling straight down your spine, out of the top of your head. And release your hands, and with a flat back, slowly roll all the way up to stand, to extended mountain pose. And bring your hands to heart center. And maybe close your eyes here and take a pause. And just set an intention for yourself tonight for your practice. What are you missing? What are you needing? What are you looking for and hoping for tonight? And just start to bring that into your space wherever you are. Maybe it's softening your body. Maybe it's being more active, pulling the pit of your belly in and up. And then exhale your hands by your side. And take a look at your feet. You want both feet at 12 o'clock, pressing into all four corners of your feet. Maybe lift your 10 toes, spread them out on the mat. Really open up your chest, roll your palms open. Your neck is nice and neutral. And on an inhale, we'll raise our arms above our head. And exhale, forward fold, hinge from your hips. Inhale, halfway lift, pin your shoulders to your back. And then exhale, plant your hands. And you can come onto your knees or come up to a high plank and a low plank. And then upward facing dog, pin your shoulders away from each other, maybe look up and press back, downward facing dog. Making sure you're staying connected with your breath. Noticing the difference in your physical body from this down dog to the first one we did tonight. inhaling your intention, whatever you're hoping for. Maybe it's joy, maybe it's ease. And exhaling stress, tension, whatever you can let go of, whatever you no longer need. And then at the end of your next exhale, you'll look forward, bend your knees, and step, hop, or float to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, pin your shoulders to your back, and exhale, forward fold. Rise up to stand, extended mountain pose, reach your fingers up. Maybe look up, go back, and exhale, forward fold. Swan dive, hinge from your hips. Halfway lift, pin your shoulders to your back, flat back. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Nice, serene, and high plank to low plank. Upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Really pressing into all four corners of your palms to get extension in your hips, keeping your legs active, pulling the pit of your belly in and up, keeping your neck nice and loose, not holding any tension. If things start to get hard, coming back to your breath. And we'll do that one more time. So inhale, fill your belly up. Exhale, let it out. Look forward at your hands and step, hop, or float to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, forward fold, and rise up to stand, extended mountain pose. And bring your hands through to heart center and down by your side. We'll do that one more time, matching your breath to your movement. So it might go a little fast. You can take child's pose whenever you need to, puppy pose, any modifications for your body. My words are just suggestions. So inhale, reach up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank to low plank. Upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. And bring both feet together at the back of your mat. Reach your right leg up to the sky. And bend your knee and roll your hip open. You can take some hip circles or stay there. And then reach your right foot all the way up and back behind you. Energy through your heels, flex your foot, and then bring it all the way through to your right thumb for warrior one. So in warrior one, your front knee is at a 90-degree angle. Your arms are reaching up over your head. You want your hips towards the front of your mat. And your drishti, your gaze is at one point. Really finding roots and strength from all four corners of both of your feet into the floor, into the ground, to get extension, to lengthen and reach up and out of your body, out of your side bodies. And then look up, maybe go back, and exhale your hands down to the mat and step it back for a high plank to low plank, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. And bring both feet together at the back of your mat. Raise that left foot up and back behind you. Bend your knee, maybe roll it open. Drawing some hip circles if that feels good for you. And then reach that left foot up and back behind you. And step it all the way through to your left thumb. And root down or rise up for warrior one. So that back foot is rooted into the mat. You're finding extension through your spine, through your side bodies. the mind starts to wander, coming back to your breath, noticing what's coming up for you. When you have to be still, when you have to root down and you're in one position. And exhale, hands down to the mat and step it back for a high plank, low plank, upward facing dog, pin your shoulders away from each other, and downward facing dog. Exhaling any of the tension you're holding with your breath or with your body. And then inhale, fill your belly up. Exhale, empty. And look at your hands, step, hop, or float to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Let it go. And slowly roll all the way up to stand. Extended mountain pose, reach up. And bring your hands through to heart center and down by your side. And we're gonna take our right arm up and step that left foot way back, coming into warrior one. And then opening up to warrior two. So now your hands are at a T, like a tug of war. Your right hand, your fingertips are extending out in front of you. Your left arm is active. And take a look at that front knee. Make sure it's right over that front right toe. And then flip your right palm. Slide that left palm up and reach back for reverse warrior. Maybe looking up at that palm, up at the ceiling. Keeping a bend in that front knee. And then coming back up to warrior two. And drop your right forearm down and reach your left arm up and overhead for extended side angle. Maybe you take a half bind. You can wrap that left arm behind you. Nice, Jamie. Really focusing on opening your chest, rolling your chest up. Nice, and let that back arm pull you back up. If you're in a bind, release that. Come into warrior two. And then step that right foot up to meet your left and your hands by your side. And we'll reach our left arm up to the sky and step that right foot all the way back behind you for warrior one. Rooting down to rise up, pressing into all four corners of your feet. And then opening up to warrior two. And flip that left palm up and reach up and back for reverse warrior. And then come back to warrior two. Place that left forearm on your thigh and reach up for extended side angle. Focusing on bringing that left hip underneath you, shining your heart up to the ceiling. If you want to take a bind, you can wrap that right arm behind you. And then release that and bring your hands to frame your left foot. And you'll step your right foot to meet your left. And take a halfway lift. Forward fold. And Utkatasana, bend your knees, sit low for chair pose. So in chair, your feet can be close together or a few inches apart, whatever feels comfortable in your body. But you're sitting low. The weight is in your heels. You're lifting up and away from your side bodies. And sit a few inches lower. Nice, Daniel. Reach up a little higher. Relax the tension in your face, smile. And fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift. Plant your hands, step it back for a high plank. Low plank. Upward facing dog, look up, pin your shoulders back, and press it back to downward facing dog. Coming back to your breath if you lost it. The whisper sound at the back of your throat, ujjayi, is a constriction. And we're building heat and energy to shift anything that's stuck in our physical body. If we're sitting all day or we're worrying, whatever's happening out there, what we can do on our mat is move that energy, move that physical body to change what's happening in our minds, on our mats and off our mats too. And then reach that right leg to the back of the room behind you and step it all the way through to your right thumb. This time, drop your left knee onto the ground, untuck your toes, and reach up. You can have your hands on your thighs or maybe reach up for a crescent lunge. If your arms are up, try to work on extending out from your hips, out from your lower body. And just start to play with pressing into that right knee. And then bring your hands to heart center. And we'll take a twist to the right. So you'll link your left elbow outside of your right knee. Pressing your palms together to get extension and length. And I love spinal twists because it's just a complete rinsing out and draining out of anything we no longer need, any tension, any heaviness. Just imagine that wringing out like a wet towel. You want to open up your arms, you can open up your arms here if that's there for you. And then bring your hands to frame your right foot. You're gonna bring your hands inside your right foot and slowly start to walk your foot out towards the edge of your mat. And you can stay here if that's a deep enough stretch for you, or you can start to roll open on the knife edge of that right foot. And you can play with maybe dropping your hips down, adding more pressure, or maybe you need to come up high on your fingertips or going lower on your forearms. Releasing your neck if you can. And then the painful moments, the uncomfortable moments, the discomfort, your breath is what's going to help. Inhaling your intention, whatever you set out with at the start of this practice, hoping to have, and exhaling anything standing in your way of getting that. And then with ease, start to bring your foot back down off or on the mat if it was off the mat, and then toe heel your feet or your right foot back towards the center of your mat, and then curl your left toes, lift your left knee up, and then step your left foot to meet your right. And you'll take a halfway lift and forward fold. And then bend your knees, sit low, and reach up for chair. Sitting a little lower, reaching a little higher. And exhale, forward fold. And halfway lift. And then this time, reach your right foot all the way back behind you. Drop your right knee, untuck your toes. Coming up for a crescent lunge. You want to keep your hands on the top of your thigh, that's perfect too. But if your arms are up, you'll reach out of your lower body, out of your waistline. Drop your shoulders, roll your pinkies in, and then bring your hands to heart center and take a twist to the left. With every inhale, getting long, and every exhale, you'll twist. Yeah, if you're finding it hard to balance, you can go wider with your feet. It'll give you easier time. Opening up your arms here if you want. Nice, Daniel. And then bring your hands to frame your left foot, and then bring your left arm or your left hand inside of your left foot and start to walk your left foot out towards the edge of your mat. And stay here if this is super intense for you. Otherwise, you can start to roll open, coming up onto the edge of that left foot, kind of opening your knee up like a book. You can come up high on your fingertips or onto your forearms. Noticing the difference between this side of your body and the right side. And again, just sending your breath to any areas of discomfort. Really bringing your breath to the present moment, to right here, right now. And then bring your foot flat on the mat if it's not already, and heel toe it back to a comfortable place, a safe place. And then you'll tuck your back toes under, lift your knee up, and step your foot to meet your left foot, and take a halfway lift. Bring your shoulders to your back, really extend forward, and exhale, forward fold, let that go. And then bend your knees and sit your hips low, reach out for a chair. One more time, everyone's favorite. And then bring your hands to heart center and twist to the right. You can latch your elbow onto your inner or outer knee, really pressing into your palms, keeping your hips nice and low. Yeah, all these spinal twists are intended, again, to just rinse out and clear out what we don't need. Because there's way too much stuff happening in the world right now to hold on to tension or anger or frustration or sadness. We need more joy. And then exhale, forward fold, let that go. And heel toe your feet away from each other. Grab your peace fingers with your big toes. So wrap it around your big toes. And keeping your fingers there, take a halfway lift. And then let it go. Bending your knees as much as you need to here. Getting your belly right on top of those thighs. Maybe sway side to side. And then release your fingers, heel toe your feet back together. And bend your knees and sit low and reach up for chair pose. And bring your hands to heart center and twist to the left. Hooking that elbow on the inside or outside part of your knee. And with every inhale, your spine lengthens, and every exhale, you twist. Hold it a little longer, keep your hips a little lower. And exhale, release, let that go. Nice work. Heel toe your feet apart, and this time slide the palms of your hands underneath the soles of your feet for gorilla pose. Keep your hands where they are and take a halfway lift. Straighten your spine. And exhale, keep your hands, let that go. Again, bending your knees as much as you need to here, letting everything roll off the top of your head, down your spine. And then let your hands go. And if you want to take crow pose, you can take crow pose or malasana squat. So for a squat, you'll heel toe your feet away from each other and your hands are at your heart center and your elbows are pressing into your knees. If you want to try to take crow, you'll bring your palms out in front of you and come up high onto your tiptoes, bringing your knees into your armpits, and then just start to lean forward, bringing one foot up and then the other. Nice, Daniel. And then wherever you are, shoot it back for a high plank, a low plank, upward facing dog. Really press the tops of your feet into the mat, reach up, and press it back, downward facing dog. Taking a few deep breaths here. And reach that right leg back behind you. And step it all the way through to your right thumb for warrior two. And then straighten that front knee and start to tip your hips back and reach forward and drop that left arm onto your ankle or the floor, wherever it lands, and reaching that right arm up and overhead. Imagining you're between two panes of glass. Just focusing on bringing that right hip underneath your left. Your gaze can be up at the ceiling or down at the ground. And then let that left arm pull you up, or that right arm pull you up. And we'll bring both feet to parallel, whatever side you're facing. So either this way or that way. And then bring your hands to your hips. And you'll reach your chest up, maybe go back a little bit. And then hinge from your hips and fold forward. Letting your head fall to the ground. If you have a pillow nearby and you want to place that underneath your head, go for it. If you want to play with the distance of your feet, maybe you go wider, it'll bring your head closer to the ground. Maybe you play with headstand, going upside down. Starting to slow down your breath. And then bring your hands to your hips, and with a flat back, you'll come all the way up to stand, nice and slow. And then you'll turn your front toes to the front of your mat and bring your back foot up and in. And then square your hips straight out in front of you, like you have two headlights on in front of you. And then you'll slowly start to lay your chest over that thigh for pyramid pose. You can place your spider fingers by your feet, bending your knee if you need to, but just really letting your head go, your neck go, not holding any tension, softening where you can soften. And then bring your hands down to the mat and take a vinyasa. So high plank to low plank, or you can skip it and go straight to down dog, upward facing dog, to downward facing dog. And then reach that left foot up towards the sky behind you and step it all the way through for warrior two. And then straighten that front knee and start to lean forward, dropping your hand down onto your ankle or your shin to the floor in front of you and reaching up. And then let that back arm pull you up and bring both feet to parallel. So you should be facing a different side this time, a different view. And then interlace your hands at your sacrum behind you, or you can grab your elbows and then start to hinge from your hips and lean forward for side facing wide-legged forward fold. Daniel jumped ahead to pyramid. If your shoulders are really tight and that doesn't feel good, you can release your hands, just listening to your body, tuning in to what you need. And then let your arms go and bring them to your hips. And with the flat back, slowly rise all the way up. And then if you're really wide and you want to come scoot a little closer together, we're going to come into goddess pose. So you'll bring your feet, your toes pointed away from you, and then just start to sit low into your hips, bringing your hands to your thighs. If this is intense, like stay here, breathe through it, do what you need to do. But if you want a deeper stretch, you can start to dip your left shoulder down, pressing your thigh away from you, and then come back to center, moving really slowly, and dip that right shoulder down, maybe looking over behind you. And again, moving at your own breath, your own pace. Opening up your inner thighs. Trying to wake up our legs and sitting down all day or being inside all day. And then come back to a neutral position. Bring your hands to your hips and come on up. And we'll do pyramid on the left side. So you'll bring your front toes forward and your right foot up and in. Your hands on your hips. And you don't want to be facing the side. You want to be facing right over that front thigh. And then just start to lean forward. Dropping your head, dropping your neck. And then bring your palms down to the mat and step it back for a high plank, this time holding your high plank and moving as slow as you possibly can. So bend your elbows till you're all the way onto the floor and turn a cheek to a side and let yourself rest. Feeling the weight of your mat beneath you. Allowing this moment for yourself to pause, to listen, to really tune in to your own thoughts, your own feelings. And then bring your arms alongside your body and your forehead flat on the mat. We're going to do locust. So if you've never done locust before, you'll pin your shoulders or your arms by your side. You'll zip your legs together and then reach your chest up, reach your legs up and hold it. Maybe go a little higher, engage your glute muscles. And then exhale, release, turn a cheek to a side and let yourself rest. And then you can stick with locust or we'll do floor bow. So for floor bow, you'll bend your knees, catch your feet or your ankles. And then without hesitating, just come on up. So kick your feet into your hands. Kick a little higher. Release the tension in your jaw and your neck and your face. And then exhale, release, let it go. And you can keep your knees bent and maybe windshield them from side to side. And then let your feet fall. And you'll bring your hands by your ribs. And then press yourself all the way up to an upward facing dog. So your chest is up, your thighs are up. And then press back to downward facing dog. And then you'll step your feet all the way through your hands, coming onto your seat, however you want to get there. And then bring the soles of your feet flat on the mat and your knees up. And slowly start to lower yourself all the way down till your spine is on the floor. And you don't want your feet too far away from you, just right by your glutes. And you'll have your hands by your side. And then reach your hips up for bridge pose. You can wiggle your shoulders underneath you, really pressing your feet down. And then lower all the way down. We'll do that one more time. So reach your hips up, go up. And then lower all the way down, one vertebrae at a time. And then let your knees fall open. For Supta Baddha Konasana, one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. And then whatever hand is on your heart, move it to your belly, and whatever hand is on your belly, switch it to your heart. Coming back to your breath. Inhaling joy, inhaling happiness, inhaling safety, security, and exhaling any tension, any stress. Feeling your belly rise and fall. Feel yourself supported and present and grounded. And then bring your hands to your knees. Bring your knees together and hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. Yeah, maybe you rock side to side if that feels good, or stay in stillness. And then grab the outer edges of your foot for a happy baby. Keeping that sacrum flush with the mat. Maybe you rock side to side. Whatever makes your baby happy. And then we're gonna take pigeon. So if you wanna take pigeon on your back, you'll stay there and cross your right ankle over your left. And then hugging that thigh, that left thigh, grabbing behind your thigh or the top of your shin. If you wanna take pigeon traditionally, you'll bring your front shin parallel with the front edge of your mat and your left foot is extended behind you. You can stay high or start to soften and release onto your forearms. And if you're in half pigeon on your back, make sure you're flexing that foot to protect your knee. And through all these poses, every physical body experiences them differently. So really tuning into what you need, what's missing in your body. Maybe you need to soften. Maybe you need to be more active. And then you'll slowly start to ease your way out of that. If you're on your back, you can do some frog circles, or if you want to take a down dog. And then however you want to get to the other side, you can move your hips side to side. And then if you're on your back, you'll bring your left ankle over that right knee. Just getting right into it. No stories. No hesitation. And then slowly start to come out of that. Serene, your cat is so cute. And then if you want to take a down dog, you can take a down dog to kind of rinse out your hips, or again, maybe taking some frog circles, noticing how much more open your hips are. And then you'll come onto your seat, sitting all the way up if you're not on your back. Yeah, you'll come sitting up. And then if you have a blanket and you want to sit up on your blanket, you can do that. Otherwise, you can take a seated, easy cross-legged position, or bringing the soles of your feet together. If you want to bring them out further wide, whatever feels good. I like them really close together, but this might not be like what your pose looks like. Anything is perfect. And you'll reach up out of your chest and then slowly start to lean forward for a seated forward fold. Going as deep as feels good without any sharp pain or any severe discomfort. This might feel a little uncomfortable, but just breathing through it. And forward folds are really good for relaxing your parasympathetic nervous system, so the fight or flight mode. Forward folds kind of help to slow down. And then slowly start to come on up. And then reach that right foot out in front of you, your left foot into your inner thigh. And reach your arms up overhead. And then lean forward over that right foot, grabbing onto whatever is accessible. Maybe it's your toes, your heels, your shin, your ankle. And then come on up and switch feet. So your right foot into your left. And then reach your arms up and fold over that left thigh. And then come on up. And you'll make your way onto your back, however you want to get there. And give yourself a nice big hug. One last hug, curl yourself up into the tiniest little ball, squeeze everything together nice and tight. And then let it go for Shavasana. You'll bring your legs out long, your arms by your side, opening up your feet, your palms. And know that your only job here is to just rest. Feel supported. And know that all that hard work, everything it took to get here, you made that happen. And start to bring awareness back into your body, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, moving slowly. Maybe reach your arms up overhead behind you. It gets the first good morning stretch of the day. And then roll yourself over to a comfortable side, coming into a fetal position. And with your eyes closed, roll all the way up to a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to heart center. Pressing your thumbs into your heart space and feel your heart space pressing into your thumbs. Taking a moment to honor and acknowledge yourself for being here tonight, practicing with me and each other. And bring your hands to your forehead center. The light in me sees and honors the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.